Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is March 1st, 2025, 8:17 p.m. I just did this whole spiel 5 minutes ago, but then I realized that my microphone was muted. Hopefully it's working now, or else I'll just do it again. But I've had another productive month. The time just keeps flowing no matter what I do, but I spent this month reading this amazing physics textbook. I'll show you what I accomplished. I can just bounce entities off each other. They just push off each other semi-realistically. You can see the collision points between them that I generate. I can also collide them with the voxel geometry. I do a very simple cube v cube, or cube versus oriented bounding box test, so it kind of glides around. I didn't really go too in depth because there's so many different collision algorithms, and I realized that I'm only going to be using boxes, but that is inadequate for voxel versus entity anyway. And then I realized that I read through this whole 500-page PDF for implementing my own physics. You got the Newtonian equations of physics, you get particle systems, you get springs and torque, and aggregate mass engines, and then eventually a rigid body system. And you implement all this stuff, including I could take advantage of the bounding volume hierarchy that I made last year, and then I made it so that it could detect a broad phase collision. And then I got all those collisions working, and it doesn't discuss how to get the data into the engine in the first place, so I had to make a linked list? No, it was just like a fixed array hash table where I have like additional buckets and they're all fixed. And I just insert, whenever I determine a collision between two entities or geometry, I just hash those values together and put it into the hash table. You know how hash tables work, it's very basic. But I got through all 500 pages of the textbook, and over time I realized that I won't even need most of this. Like, I don't even really need realistic physical simulation in my engine if it's just going to be fucking Minecraft. So I don't give a shit about any of that. But I mean, at least I have the equations now if I want to do anything interesting with it in the future. I mean, this is all my own code, so I can do whatever I want with it. It's my own, it's basically my own IP. So we have collisions now. That's cool. And so on top of that, I opened up Blockbench. It's an amazing little graphics thing. You can do animations. You can make meshes for it. This was a test, like just rotating an entity back and forth. Then I made another test where it's two entities rotating back and forth. It's like a bicep and forearm, if you will, like constantly contracting. I don't know what the term is. I don't know what the term for it is. And then I got three joints where it's just the same thing, but like it's the wrist. And this was all after I made this original guy right here, this cute little guy. He's just walking around, just one very basic animation to start working with animations in my own game. Let me delete all these entities. I don't give a shit. I just triggered something that was an assert because of I was deleting an entity in a collision, and we just triggered an assert that I added there just to catch that exact case. And I forgot about it because I didn't really give a shit about physics once I got past the basics. So I'll just reboot my engine. And you'll see this cute little guy. Oh my god, he's so cute. You can see his red joints. Those are the pivot points that I needed to render so I could visually prove it to myself exactly what the fuck was happening. This took like 2 days just to figure out how to import the animation correctly. But I used the CGLTF single header only library. It's amazing. It doesn't mess with any of my static global state. It doesn't crash me. It's an amazing library. I would recommend it if you don't want to go through the agony of importing GLTF files yourself, but then you still need to animate them. So I recursively create a stack in my render system where I start from like the base entity, and then I gradually calculate the offset down the limbs and the pivot points, and then I calculate the cumulative rotations so you can see the animation happening every single frame. It's beautiful. I love this little guy. And you can see side by side, it's the exact same animation. So I spent this past hour, oh my god, of course, as soon as I went through all this effort, as soon as I recorded one previous session with no microphone, I unplugged this controller. But I went just one step further today after I got animation working, and now I'm experimenting with game pads. Can I show you where did that window go? Please God. Okay, so here's the debug window, and you can see whenever I move the controller, you can see the text just flashing by. You can see the different axes. I can press buttons, and you can see all the buttons. I haven't hooked it up to the game engine. I got it working like 10 minutes ago. But that's the next step until I can start controlling these entities, adding more animations on top of them, swapping between them, adding entity interactions. I'm just building up the basic engine layer so I can start working on the actual game. Nobody gives a shit, but I'm working on it every day, and eventually it'll come to fruition, and I'll die before it happens, but I don't really give a shit. I'm having fun looking at my fun little guy walking, and I hope you did too. And I'll have more to show next month. So that's about it. Thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and take it easy, guys. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is March 31st, 2025, 7:38 p.m. As usual, I have no idea where I should even begin, so I'll just boot it up. So you can see I got my little guys. Oh my god, my little guy. He's moving around. I restrict movement depending on like the orientation he's facing. Like I can, if he's facing all the way right, I can like kind of tap A quickly, but he won't really move in that direction until he's facing that way. So we can like run around in little circles. So I can get the key pattern right. If I go into free cam mode and we zoom in on him, you'll see that I draw a bunch of white dots on him, like those ping pong balls for like CG actors. I'm drawing the min and max of each one of his meshes, so I can pre-process that. So like if I'm running the dedicated server where there's no actual rendering, I won't need to pay the cost of skeletal animation. I'll just be able to use a huge lookup table and like, okay, the entity got hit. Let's see the min and max of all these different hitboxes in this big lookup table and see which one got hit. So, which saves us some processing power. We can punch left and right. I press the left mouse button, we punch with the right. We punch with the right hand. I press the left mouse button, we punch with the left hand. I'm just drawing like some more debug information on that fist. It's just a residual information. We can pick up items. Look at that. We can pick up the shield and bash with it. We can pick up the sword and attack with it. These items also have min and maxes that I'm drawing just for more pre-processing. But I'm not doing that yet until I figure everything out. And of course, we're still using the same punching animation. I don't swap out the movesets yet. I don't really care about that. We're drawing a big box here just to... That was like an initial test for like, where should I even draw where the hitbox would be? But I'll do something even better. Because now that I know the min and max of any weapon for any animation, I can just pre-process that exact hitbox for a few frames and see what collides with it. There's no actual like combat or health logic yet. I could set it up pretty easily. This guy doesn't really move unless I drag him around. Look at him go. Of course, there's no jumping yet. There's like a little jumping animation. But I'm too lazy to set that up. I can like right here, I can apply gravity, like linear acceleration downward. Like look, now there's gravity. That's cool. I mean, it could be stronger. Also, you'll notice that like in Terraria, as soon as our hitbox collides with a voxel, we automatically step up. So that took like maybe like a week of agonizing over it because we need to find like the very minimum of the entity. If any voxel that it collides with in the X or Z axis, if it's within like a certain range, we just automatically know that we can step up. And it won't let us step up into voxels over here. But I can't highlight them because, oh god, yeah. No, I can't highlight them. Oh god, the chunk was unloaded. Here we go. That is so silly. Did we teleport? Where did we go? What happened? Oh no, okay. We just fell into the chunk, which was unloaded. That was freaky. I need to look at that. That was a bizarre edge case. But at least I have footage of it. But this whole process will take a long time for debugging. But as you can see, there's voxels above us, and we can't really intersect with that. The logic takes care of that. I mean, of course, there's still some bugs to work out, like at the very bounds of chunks. Like we just found out, some wacky stuff can happen. But it works for the current use case, and that's all that really matters. I can debug it as I go. So we got our little character controller working. And today I spent working on UI. You can see there's all these little test things right here. This shield thing over here, I'm working with the texture atlas. I can comment it out if I can find it. I can show you. God, and I already lost where that texture atlas thing is. Where is UV? Oh yeah, right there. It's right in front of my eyes. So we can just hot reload it real quick to show you what that texture atlas actually looks like. And you can see that I have like a sword and shield and a helmet. Like I don't have the helmet in loaded right now, but like right now you can see I have the sword and the shield. The goal is to represent it in this little equipment window. Like look, I can draw this around. I can even resize it. It's so cool. This was also the easiest thing that I've ever made in my life. Like, I guess once you work on this for like 2 years, things start getting easier. But this was the easiest thing I did all month. Like, it was all in 2D. I just render it to screen space. There's a little widget so I can resize the equipment window. I can drag it around. Of course, I'm not drawing anything in it yet. I'm still testing out UI. But it would be rather simple now that I have a simple framework set up where I can like represent like what's equipped on the entity or even draw text in here. We still have the little text window thing over here. And I can even drag it around, but I don't draw bounds around it. So there's still a lot further to go, but I'm already astounded with I'm amazed by how quickly it was to set up the UI. So that was pretty cool. I'll keep working on it in the future. I mean, I'll need to be working on it for the next month entirely just to get all the functionality that I want out of it. But you can see that we can't drag it off screen. We can't like invert the size. It like shrinks to a minimum, and then we can still like drag it out from there. So pretty cool. So that's pretty much all I've been working on. There's still a lot further to go. Every step I make in progress that opens up a billion more goals to reach on the horizon, and I never know what to aim for. So every day it's just a struggle figuring out what to do next. But we're slowly getting there, and we'll continue to make progress. So I'm really excited about this UI stuff. And my little guy, he's so cute. Oh my God, my cute little guy. So thanks for watching this. Hope you've had a great month, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.